travelers checking in. You'll hear some road noise. I am at the Route 522 in Front Royal. The Appalachian Trail goes parallel for about a mile here. Today we are going about 11 miles to the Manassas Gap shelter. Again, I haven't checked the elevation profile, but I'm pretty sure there's a lot of ups, some downs, some ups, a big up, a couple small downs. I don't know. I just have a hint that that could be the way today goes. So I had an absolutely amazing rest day yesterday. I did not get in a nap because I was trying to plan the logistics for my next, I don't know how many miles, but at least until my next resupply and my next couple of hostel/hotel stays, so that I could tell my husband where to send my next box. I have one coming to Harper's Ferry. I stayed at the Stumble Inn. As you know, I shared some video and photos. An absolute oasis, so peaceful. There were 4 other hikers there with me, 3 southbound flip-floppers. They are headed to Springer Mountain, and then they're going to flip up and finish at Katahdin, Maine. And then 1 other woman that's starting tomorrow flip-flopping, so I may actually run into her again along the trail. Texas and Stumbles were amazing hosts, and I had a breakfast this morning. You wouldn't believe. It was homemade biscuits and gravy, homemade hash brown casserole, homemade egg casserole, homemade banana bread, fresh honeydew melon, coffee, orange juice. So I am powered by sausage and biscuits. That was the first time I've had biscuits with sausage gravy. Holy smokes, it was delicious. And it's supposed to be a little bit rainy, possible thunderstorms today. I'm really hoping I can get my tent set up because the shelter at Manassas Gap is one of those older style. I'm not that thrilled about it. And then we'll see how it goes. My feet feel amazing today. I have to tell you, 2 nights ago when I hiked into Mountain Home Hostel, my feet were hurting, and I know that's just the way they're going to be, right, for the next several months. But I woke up in the night with like stabbing pains in my feet that woke me up, and I was like, oh God. But you know what? The body is an amazing thing. And after a little massage and day off yesterday, even though I wasn't off my feet the whole day, I think just not hiking with 30 pounds on my back did wonders. And I had a huge, I went out to dinner last night, or late lunch, I guess, in Front Royal at the local brewery, and had this amazing spinach salad with fresh fruit and grilled shrimp on it, and it was just delicious. Okay, so this is like a bit of a little boardwalk I have to go on. So yeah, I did want to say Stumble Inn is amazing. That hostel is a not-for-profit. All of their profits and any tips and donations go to AT Kids, which provides funding. Right now it's to the local 4-H for underprivileged kids to get outside and enjoy nature, and it's amazing. So I did a little donation at the time I checked out, and I did ask if they had a way for the public to donate. I was gonna give them a shout out, but they don't quite yet. Their 501c3 status is pending, but I'm telling you, once that's up and running, I will definitely share, because what a absolute worthwhile cause. They worked so hard to give back to the trail, and this was their way of doing that. And so just another reason to love that place. So I'm walking along, and it's, you know, kind of a peaceful, quiet morning. This whole fence, U.S. government property, no trespassing, quite a large property. And I think it is some kind of a preserve. I don't know if they're doing like research on endangered species or something, but I need to look it up again, but it's kind of like this eerie, I'm out here alone. I'm like, ooh, it's like one of those movie intros you see where, you know, clueless backpacker comes across U.S. government property in the woods. What could it be? I'll tell you what, I'm not going to ask too many questions. Something went on here last night. There's this beautiful, I'm assuming a blue jay feather. Up here, there's like more bird feathers, more fur. Something happened here, y'all. I was glad I wasn't here for it, but rest in peace, whoever died here. I don't know, I think it's a couple miles that I've been on trail. A couple, you know, moderate climbs. It sprinkled a little and then got more humid. You know how that goes. So I'm sweating out here, but it's really a pretty morning. Wanted to follow up on that U.S. government facility. So I've been on trail for about 2 miles, and that fence, it's still going up. It's behind the trees here. You can't see it. Obviously, it's keeping us out of the fenced-in area, but I want to know what it's keeping in. Am I in a Jurassic Park situation over here? Like, what's going on in that facility? So anyway, it's still going 2 miles uphill, and I still see that fence with U.S. government property. Very interesting. Besides the humidity, is that I just did a resupply, and I got my resupply box from home. My food bag is packed. I have so much food. I did not weigh my pack at the hostel because I didn't want to become demoralized or psych myself out. So it's good to have food. I'm still learning that balance between enough and not too much. So I'll figure it out. It took almost 11 days on trail, but it finally happened. I went off course, is the bad news. The good news is it was less than 0.2 miles, but you know, out and back, that's almost a half a mile, which isn't great. And also, I learned a lesson that, you know, obviously you have to pay attention out here. But the turn in the trail was oh so subtle. And it was a pretty well-worn side trail because there's the mountain community up here that has a private drive. And that's the way that I continued on. It wasn't even really a curve in the trail, very subtle. But had I looked up, I would have seen a white blaze right on the tree going straight where the AT goes. Lesson learned, it wasn't that far, and I'll take it. And the good news is I've climbed and climbed, and it does seem to be a tad cooler up here. The sun is amazingly bright, and there's not one cloud in the sky. I know we could use a little rain, and hope we get enough to keep springs flowing and such, but if I can make it to camp and get my tent up, which is, you know, several hours from now, so who knows, but right now it's pretty nice out. So I'm stopping to show, I've seen this a lot out here. In the woods, you'll see those redbud trees. When I started, I noticed a few here and there, and they were just starting to bloom, and now they're out. Pretty much in full bloom. I see them along the roads and such, and there's usually 1 or 2 in the woods. They're always pretty, but I loved walking in to this section of forest and just seeing a lot of them together out in the distance in the trees. It just looks really pretty. We are going to the Manassas shelter. We're stopping at the Denton shelter for a sit-down break, maybe a little lunch, definitely some nice cold water from the spring. I got 2 liters of cold spring water. I drank a half liter of water I had from this morning, and then I drank a liter of cold water. So I drank 1.5 liters of water with electrolytes at lunch. Flies or gnats or something are out too. It's kind of gross. But I was at the Denton shelter and I couldn't really take any video to show you around because there was a huge group of day hikers. I don't know if they're a family or what. I believe they were Korean. They were so nice. They were trying to take a picture of everybody, and the one guy was taking the photo. So I said, hey, you know, let me take the photo so you can all be in it. And they were like over the moon. And I said, say cheese, and to smile. And they're like, say kimchi. And I was like, oh, kimchi. They had full on noodle cookers. I don't know what they were making for lunch. It smelled amazing. So, man, now I could really go for some kimchi. I think I got about 5 miles, a little more, to the shelter for the night, and hoping this rain holds off. I'm like, okay, I am sick of carrying this food. I have these mini, Walmart has them now, street taco size tortillas, which are really nice. So I have 2 of those with a peanut butter packet. And then I had the tortillas in with some jelly beans in a baggie. And so the jelly beans kind of melted and got nasty, so I threw those out, but the tortillas were like multicolored. That's some thunder. I'm about 3 point something from the shelter. And I think at this point I'm just gonna bunk out in the shelter and save myself the weight of carrying a wet tent. I have my paca on. It was my pet cover, and I deployed the raincoat option, and it has pit zips, so I stuck my arms through them because this thing is literally like a plastic sheet and it just keeps everything dry. It does not breathe. So I'm stuck my arms through, so it's like a vest, and I just have to be mindful I don't snag it on a tree branch or something. But I just hit a section that was through a farmer's field with the first rumbles of thunder, and I'm like, oh great, just where you want to be. But I made it back up into the woods. And it's so odd. This may blow over. The sky's clear, more clear on one side, but I keep hearing thunder in the distance. And I got laughing because I feel like a big red tomato. Okay, the rain stopped for now, and I am coming down a lot of this rocky stuff. It's nothing compared to Pennsylvania and New England, and these are just short sections of this trail, and then it goes down below. You can see it's more of just dirt and gravel, but I just thought these rock formations are so cool. These mountains are so old, and it's kind of cool to be walking up and over and on them and living in them, and just imagining like how old these boulders must be. And I'm also noticing that bright blue bag down there. I have no idea what it is. I'm gonna go investigate. Ew, I don't know. From what I could tell from poking it, it's like a scoop with something in there. I don't know if it's a dog poop thing or what, but it's gross. And unfortunately, I'm leaving it there. Leave no trace, people. Look both ways. The AT is over there, so I gotta make a run for it here. This still makes me nervous, like I'm gonna get my foot stuck in here. Oh, made it. I got less than a mile to camp, and I kid you not, this last 2 miles has been all uphill, and the rain stopped, the sun came out. It is steamy. I am sweating like a marathon runner. Whew, I had to stop and catch my breath a bunch of times, not just this once, but I'm looking forward to just getting there and getting this pack off. Right after my last update, it started pouring rain. I am going to sleep in the shelter. I'm the only one here right now, and I'm kind of okay with that. And I'm also fine if someone else shows up. I'm actually surprised at how okay I am with it. We'll see once it gets dark. If there's a moon, it really doesn't even get that dark here. I never realized it. It's not ever pitch black out here unless it's like a super cloudy night, which I haven't had yet. See if I can show you in the background here. There's my little hidey hole for the evening. I'm all set up for bed. I am gonna go down and get some water and make dinner, and because the rain stopped, I can actually eat at the picnic table because I have a little sit pad, so it doesn't matter that the table's wet. That's it. So I made it 10 point something miles today. It was hard. It was a lot of climbing, and it was all kinds of crazy weather, but welcome to the AT. I'm proud of myself today.